Welcome to No Joke Survival.
Preparations for the average family.
I'm Jason Hill.
And I'm James Blackburn.
And on this week's episode, we're going to talk about water. And the whole goal of this show is...
Hey guys, sorry I'm late.
Oh, hey.
We're here to talk
Here's
about
Danny.
water. Whew. All right, well, I drink water like it's going out of style, so I was thinking, water. Wait, the episode.
Yeah, water's
sorry,
important.
Guys, sorry.
So, did you have a story or something?
Well, I mean, as far as water goes, I mean, I used to live in Alabama, and back in 1995, our house was totaled in a tornado, and we lived with tornado watches and warnings all the time, and so every time, we would end up getting those warnings, we were always then doing all the kind of preparations that you would want to take if you know a storm is coming. Mm-hmm. And so in our case, we had water already set up, but in that case, it was actually kind of late, so we had a lot less water than we had anticipated. But
what were some of the things that you did, since you knew that you needed to store some water?
Usually, what we always like to do when you know that a storm is coming is, in our situation, I mean, we knew what water we had, so we had city water, mm-hmm. and so we knew that if the power went out, there was still a limited amount of water versus a well, and you think, my pump doesn't work. And so we would fill up our tubs. My mom and dad are both avid antique collectors, and so we always had a pitcher and wash basin in every bathroom that we would then fill the pitcher up with water so we could wash our hands. We would fill up all of the empty water bottles we had. We would try and fill up stock pots with water and whatnot. That way we could have as much water as possible, because the way I was always taught, you always want to have a gallon of water per person per day.
At a minimum.
Exactly,
sure.
At a minimum, because that also includes drinking, cooking, and bathing.
That's right. And so, yeah, as far as if you know in advance that you're losing your water, which is rare, but if you do, the bathtub is mm-hmm. great. And they do sell these big plastic containers that you can fill up. But if you don't have one of those, just fill that bathtub up anyway. Mm-hmm. You can always boil and filter the water.
Yeah. And you could do the same exact thing to fill up the sinks in the house as mm-hmm. well.
The sinks?
Another one. And one of the techniques that we showed in our last episode is plastic containers for water.
You got this over there.
I have this big one right here.
I swear you just like lifting that thing up.
I do. It shows how strong I really am.
That's why I put it on that side.
Yeah. So this is another technique for saving water and storing it in an emergency situation. 5 gallons right here, fresh mm-hmm. and ready to go.
And these containers are very durable, so you can bang them around. They're going to stay and prevent...
Drop them usually, they're fine. Not from 2 stories.
Just don't drop it on your foot.
Another neat little trick is, anything you might not normally think of as a vessel that will hold water, but like your trash can. Mm-hmm. Now, granted, it's always got a trash bag in there, but pull the trash bag out and you fill that with water. Again, you can boil and filter it later. The object is to just have some water in case mm-hmm. You're going to lose it, And you can buy bottled water and stockpile and everything else. But those are just some neat little tricks for when you know it's going to be mm-hmm. gone or turned off.
Something else I was always taught as well is if you buy bottled water, that's great, but you don't want to keep it in the sun. And if you keep it in any particular long time, it doesn't hurt the water, but it kind of affects the taste a little bit because of the plastic.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just them getting a little finicky.
Now, when we come back from the break, we're going to discuss ways that if you don't know in advance and all of a sudden your water is shut off, what do? How are you going to acquire water, and how are you going to filter and purify it? We'll talk about that as soon as we come back.